I should do it backwards. What do you guys think? You think I ought to do the cat backwards? I don't know, maybe forward. It feels uncomfortable backwards. All right. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys all had a Merry Christmas. It is time though to get back into it. You got 1 week left this year to basically get in and get down and get dirty and make that last little bit of money you possibly can for this week. Really, we're basically gonna kind of jump right into things and get things going. Okay, few big key things to look at this weekend. First of all, Democrats and Republicans managed to pass the bill that raises the debt ceiling, and with that being up and the debt ceiling being taken care of, then not a big government shutdown problem coming, so there's not going to be a risk off event with that. It does not mean that things are going to go through the roof. However, it is possible that things will still go through the roof. All right, here's the big deal. 2 things. 1, it is the end of the year. This is where all of the major funds start to do their rebalancing. And it's for tax purposes and tax season. So the selling that started at the beginning of end of November, beginning of December, you're going to see that money come back into the market. So there's a pretty good chance we're going to have a pretty up day going into tomorrow. The other thing that's going on, so we don't have a risk off event as of the shutdown has been kicked down the road. 2, obviously, we've got a bunch of money on the sidelines, needs to come back in. Pretty good chance it's going to start slowly on Monday. Like I said, we see an up day, but probably not a huge up day going into tomorrow or closing out even the end of the day. But still, the bulls are in force right now. They have control of the market, and so we're really looking at that a lot. Okay, next thing as far as like news goes, I meant to set this up. Let me see if I can do it. Share screen. All right, so we're going to get into the technical analysis part of this. We are going to just do this one. I'm just going to share with you the futures market for tomorrow, and then we'll go ahead and jump right into the chart. All right. So let me come back. I'm make sure this is up and running. All right, so we're up and running there. We're back into the chart, or back up into the futures market. As you can see right now, the Dow is sitting, let's see, we've got the Dow up about 30 points. We have the S&P futures up about 5 points. The NASDAQ is up 41. So for the NASDAQ, 41 is pretty good. For the other two, this is what we would call flat. They're kind of just drifting there. Nobody really knows whether it's going up or going down, or nobody's made a decision yet. We can go down and look at some of the other stuff really quick. Crude oil is down a little bit. That might make, it's not a lot, enough to make stocks go down. It might be enough to make them actually go up. Oh, none of this. I don't need the end here. We want to look at where some of the other. Okay, so I'm looking at all the other indexes around the globe, and it looks like France and Japan are the only two that closed down. And England, France, Japan, and England. Basically places that really have to be, well, Germany is Germany, and it do what it, oh no, Germany's fun. England's on an island, Japan is on an island, and this is just France. So the places that really have to be paranoid about COVID, not surprised they're down. Hong Kong and China are being up a little bit, but mostly closing flat at where they are 0.13 and 0.22. So it's probably going to be a pretty sideways day. All right. Really quick, we're going to go over to Give me 1 second, guys. I was going to check this out. China industry firm. All right. So it seems as though there is some worry about the Omicron variant going on in here. All right, on you got rising Omicron cases, it looks like, and that's driving some of this flatness, which is good for us. That means we're going to play both sides of this market. So timing our entries timing our entries tomorrow, or timing our entries aren't going to be a big deal. Exits, we are going to really have to watch our exits and take what profit we can when we can. Okay, let's go ahead and come back over here. I'm going to stop sharing that. I'm going to share the new one because to give us this. We're going to go Weeble, and I'm going to do that one. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring up the charts. We're going to look into here. So the big ones we're going to take a look at right now, we're going to look at SPY first, the S&P. So it looks like Friday they pulled the 50 underneath the 200. I need to edit these for you guys really quick. Edit these indicators, EMA. Okay, so it's not even that bad. Okay, so high of the day was 472.19, pulls back to 470.60. What is this? Dies at 90. Okay, whatever. That has nothing. That's sad, but nobody likes anybody dying, but death sucks. Okay, so let's go back to the daily. Let's start there. Okay, from the daily perspective. All right. We got this. We came down. We dipped below the 50-day moving average. We bounced back up. We're right in this area right here. Again, you can see here where I put that big thick line right there. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3. That's your triple top, right? If we don't blow through here tomorrow, we're doomed. It's going down pretty hard. Tomorrow, we can see the fall all the way back into the 449 range. Below that, we've got this. You've got a couple of possible spots. I got to put this on here, but I got to change it really fast. Okay. That line. No, let's do this one. That one's more representative. Okay. And we'll do this one. Okay. All right. So bold lines basically here, we're going to put that as resistance. That's this shaded line. But that's this one. Support is that one. Support is that one. Okay. So top line. This is our resistance. Okay. This one here could probably change too. All right. There's three in any technical analysis, there's three basic things that can happen. We can have support, which is where a price doesn't fall below. We can have resistance, which is where a price doesn't go above. And then you have this transition in a chart where support acts as resistance or resistance acts as support. Okay. You can see we fell down. Oh, there. That's why. Delete this. No, delete, you bastard. Okay. See this dip right here? See this little dot and this one here? And at the same time, if you come over here and see this peak, this was resistance. This is resistance right here. With this being resistance, and then this being all of a sudden it bounces off of here twice, Support has now become resistance. So there's a pretty good chance that if we're coming down tomorrow, we're going to go from here to here or over the next, and it'll probably take a couple days, to be honest with you, if we go down. So there's a chance it'll go from 470 to 452. Last time it did, it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It took about 6 days, okay, for that to happen. This last time, 1, 2, about 3 days. You can see it's chopping down pretty hard. So there's not as much action in this move back up. However, there was a move back up, okay? In this up area above resistance, there's no telling what buyers are going to be up there. Like who's going to be up there, right? And down here, you can tell from this how wide these gaps are. You can tell there's a lot of stop losses. Sorry, I don't have COVID. I just had a cough. Okay. There's a lot of stop losses in there. Guys are willing to cut bait and run. They're willing to sell and get out while they can. They're trying to squeeze every dollar out of this run, but they can. So I would say if we don't get over this line, if we don't open up over 470.60 there tomorrow, if we don't get up over there, we're probably going down. And if we can't stay over there. Very well likely we'll get a pullback into tomorrow and then a rocket up. But this is the daily. Let's go to the 5 minute. That'll give us a better clue, indication as to what's happening. See, you can see. Look how conveniently I just drew that line. It like lines up on the 5 minute almost perfectly with the 50-day moving average. Okay, on the 5, the 50's over the 200, but it's heading down that direction, so that's scary. On the 3 minute, it's about underneath there. Obviously, the 2 minute, it's under there already, and the 1 minute. Okay, so momentum is definitely, it's still bullish, but it's falling. Okay, we're losing momentum. Now, a lot of this might just be it's Christmas and there wasn't as many traders there, but it's obviously something to keep an eye on. We can look at the volume was 56 million. Average volume is 77 million. Okay, so all this trash, I look at my volume, the volume from Friday, 56 million. Average volume is 77 million. There was nobody there. They were all gone. You're missing a third of your buyers and sellers. So Monday, they come back on. Should be good to happen. All right. Now back to where we really like to be. This is the ticker I love to trade. This is IWM. This is the Russell 2K. Again on the daily. This normally leads the large caps. SPY would be an example of a large cap ETF, and Russell IWM is the small cap. These are small companies. The SPY is the big companies. Okay, going down here again, the daily. We're tagging the 50-day without getting over that. There's if we reject there at the 50-day moving average, which it looked like it already did, you can see this wick of this candle comes up, gets really close to that. They'll still try and test it tomorrow, but there's a pretty good chance there'll be a fair bit of selling. On the daily, though, this is pretty scary because this is the daily chart. If the 50-day moving average pulls underneath here, we're in trouble, like in big trouble. And I'll show you, look what happened the last time that happened. Boom, get this, okay? That 50-day moving average moves underneath there. You better be praying you got your puts, okay? So, we need to look at some other stuff. Okay, on the 1 hour, the 50 is up over the 200, which is good. 5 minute. Let's go backwards and look backwards. Still over the 200, 5 minute, still over the 200, but they're narrowing, getting closer. At the 200, married there. Momentum is falling here. Underneath the 200. Momentum is down. Okay, if the momentum here doesn't bounce on the 200 and it'll drag the 3 and the 5 minute with it, we're going down. So this last little run may have not been for naught. All right. I'm not logged in, so I don't have the normal lines up here that I had last time. Maybe I'll just no, go away. I don't want you to see all that. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this then on the daily. There's our support. 1, 2, 3 peaks. So that's going to be our resistance. And then just barely right here, support acting as resistance. Or resistance acting as support. Okay. So you can see we had a bunch of touching through there, right there where that resistance is over here in the corner. Yeah, I would say without some heavy buying coming in this week, and based on this, see this thing right here, this candle, the peak right here. I want that. I want this. If we don't blast over that tomorrow, it'll retrace. It'll go back down. So from a technical perspective, we want to see if it comes up here and touches at the 125 level or 225 level. And if it doesn't get up over that, then it'll be headed south again, back towards 210. So very good chance. You're only about $3 away from there. So there's a good chance it'll go up there and hit it. There's no new trends to really take it in any other direction. So pretty good chance we're headed down. But watch for the bounce. Okay. Watch tomorrow. There will definitely be a bounce. So watch for it. They'll try and pull it back. They've brought it down low. It's sitting at 50 on the right in the middle on the RSI. So they'll probably pull it back some more. Maybe even a slight gap down into the open. But watch for the bounce. Okay. I had another segment I was going to do called puts or calls, but we're going to skip it because technical analysis took way too long today. So we're basically, if you're asking the question, do I buy puts or do I buy calls? The answer is we're going to do both. So I'm going to be looking for that flush into the open tomorrow to go short on the puts. I'm going to look for it to get pretty extended to the downside, assuming it doesn't overextend in the pre-market. And then I'm going to look for that bounce to come back up. But overall, I'm anticipating a rejection here. I'm anticipating profit taking on this. That being said, again, we need to be aware of that money that's sitting out on the sidelines right now. A lot of money sitting on the sidelines that is, it's got to go somewhere. Okay. And it's not going to go into the bond market. It's not going to go into a savings account. And it's probably, it can't go into crypto at the moment. So I would say, unless they start like flipping houses or something, I'm thinking that it's got to come back into. I'm watching. It needs to really be coming back into the stock market at some time because it can't really do anything else. So, and it's a lot of money, and pretty much all of the banks have reported that they're sitting on top of a ton of cash, and it's got to go somewhere. So I know Warren Buffett's sitting on top of about $7 billion right now, and there's a few other of those investors that are also sitting on top of large quantities of cash. Oh, so where and when and how that's going to come back in, I don't know. The only other thing I could think that they might try and do, if it were me, what I would do is I would start to be looking at emerging markets. I'd be trying to find a place other than China to build factories. Honestly, that would be someplace a lot more amenable to the US and with some possible good PR for you and for the US to have some sort of relationship with. But it's got to be affordable labor. I mean, if it was me, I'd go to Venezuela. I'd try and get down there. I'd try and deal with their government, and I would try and deal with our government and the Venezuelan government and do something like that. But I'm kind of weird like that. It's got to be someplace. Anyway, I'll come up with something. I'll come up with a strategy here. But the only other place that money can go is to start a business. So they either need to start new companies, open new factories, and do that sort of stuff, which may actually happen here in the U.S. with, you know, a lot of these companies are not going to be very happy to stay at the mercy of China. And the other thing is, if China does come after Taiwan and Taiwan Semiconductor, Ford and General Motors aren't going to be too keen to pay China what China wants. And if we have to put some sort of sanction there to keep China out of Taiwan, then Ford and GM aren't going to be able to get the semiconductors they need out of there. So I really need to think about it and I know it seems kind of random to go from technical analysis to this, but the thing is like, again, right now, money's got two options, right? It's got two options right now. Either A, start a business or go back into the stock market. What are you going to do? And that's now the best thing for the American people is it starts businesses. The worst thing for the American people, well, the bad thing, the less good thing is it goes into the stock market. If you're a trader, then it's probably good for you, but I'd say that if owning something tangible like a business or a factory or something that does something going forward, probably going to be pretty good. They may not want to do that right now because they don't want to pay the new labor, right? Which is trash. We need to start paying the labor, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. I would say it's probably going to come back in, especially because it's old money, and old money doesn't want to start new companies. So I'm watching for that money to come back in. Right now, I would say it's not coming into the Russell 2K. I would say chances are we're going down, going lower. And that's about it for me. I'm really kind of don't even know what to think. We may be flat for the next couple of days. That's the other thing. It may not do anything. It may just sit there, which I haven't seen it do that yet. If it does, there's a good chance somebody will try and make a big push on it. So keep your technicals up. Watch your moving averages. Watch the crosses and watch your volumes. Like your volume's going to tell you more than anything. This last week, we watched a lot of we actually spent more time watching the level 1s than the level 2s this week. That was kind of a big help for us. Just watching the volume of orders for buying and selling as to timing our exits. Again, big thing tomorrow. I'd say the big three things are watch for the flush, watch for the bounce, get your exits. When you get green, get out. Don't try for the home run. If you do, make sure you can take the hit, but if you're trying to make a few bucks before the end of the year, good on you, and stay safe out there. I'm Russell Liss for the Russell Journal. This is a stock market channel. Bear with us. I just got back to my regular home, the Casa de Mula over here, and we're getting some of the stuff ironed out. As you can see, we got the green screen, but I've still got some kinks to work out on it, or wrinkles. Still got a few wrinkles in it. All right, you guys have a good night, and we will see you out there. All right.